Welcome back to Artscape. I'm Bill and this is Larry, and you do a lot of things with wood, and you're also like a historian on wood making. We were just talking before about the way the Chinese and the way the Japanese put their wood together and form things together. You got a nice little piece right here, Hal.
Yeah, this is from a desk practice parts from a desk that I did.
This would be a Japanese way of.
This is a Chinese joint. It's called a lap scarf joint, and the wood is joined right now. It's press fit together. It's pretty tight.
And we were just saying how, you know, that's very common Chinese not to use any sort of nails or glue.
Yeah, the old style Chinese joinery. They would join everything with just wood joints. They wouldn't use nails and they wouldn't use glue. And so a lot of the old Chinese furniture can be disassembled and then reassembled.
Wow.
And so all of a lot of what survived the Cultural Revolution was pieces that people were able to take apart, stack, and stash in an old barn or something like that. And
now, are these techniques still being taught?
Yeah, well, I studied a little bit of it when I was in school in California. It wasn't necessarily what was part of the curriculum or the instruction. That was sort of an independent study while I was there. But I had my benchmate was really into Chinese joinery, so he sort of influenced me on learning some Chinese joinery techniques and how things go together. It's a lot of fun. You need really sharp tools.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a lot of handwork, but it's very satisfying when you can put something together like this, you know, these dovetails.
Right.
And it all goes together real tight.
Now, to do what you do, to be a woodworker, you have to have good tools. You know, it's funny, we have a friend that used to say he would go to your shop just to look at your tools.
Oh, yeah?
Right. That's really funny. The tools you have here, you have a lot of chisels, clamps, things like that. Those things haven't changed in hundreds of years, right? I mean, they're basically the same.
And actually, one of the first projects I did at school was we had to make our own hand planes.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I used wooden hand planes that I made, and that's sort of like how they did it back in the old days.
Right.
Woodworkers would make their own planes.
Right.
And the important part is to have good steel or iron for the cutting.
But you'd make the rest
tools.
of it. Obviously, you're not going to forge the iron.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, but in Japan, see, Japanese chisels are superior to all other chisels in the world, in my opinion. And basically, after the era of the samurai, the Japanese blacksmiths were making these samurai swords, which are supremely sharp and strong, and they just focused on making cutting tools like saws and chisels. And so I have a set of Japanese chisels that were hand forged.
Oh, wow.
And it's a combination of hard and soft steels that they fold over and weld together and all this kind of processes, but basically you get a super sharp cutting edge that's really strong.
Right.
And
I guess you don't lend those out too often.
No.
Yeah. No.
Not those chisels.
No, right. Do you think the art of the woodworking, do you think it's dying, or do you think it'll always be with us? Do you think there's always going to be someone like you that carry these traditions on?
I think so.
Because I mean, you know, what's funny is in art, if we explained what we do, it would make no sense.
Right.
Like there's a quicker, easier way to do everything.
Yeah. I think that what it is with the work that I do is that I try to make things that are very pleasing, that make people feel comfortable, that are very special. In the old days, everybody would make their own furniture or cabinets. If you were rich, you could buy factory-made stuff.
Right.
And the factory-made stuff was the special stuff. These days, everybody can afford the factory-made stuff, but the stuff that's handmade is real special because I guess it's because of competition. I mean, factory-made stuff can be really cheap or inexpensive.
Right.
Whereas something that's handmade can take a lot of time. And
And then also throw in the fact that you could make it out of wood that came off of their property, or special woods.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess because of that, it makes. There will always be people that want something that's special.
Right.
And so.
But you think the traditions? You think they'll live on? Like, do you ever have some young guy come to you and say, "Hey, Larry, show me what you know"?
I think people are interested in it when they see the final product.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot involved in learning it, and that sort of time commitment. Sometimes people realize, maybe I'm not into it as much as I thought I might be.
Right.
It's an obsession, just like with the ukulele. I think, and I feel artistic. Wood is my medium.
Yeah.
I can't draw very well, but I can chisel dovetails pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so thanks for having us here. So where can people get a hold of you? How can people get a hold of you if they want to get one of your ukuleles or furniture made from you? Well,
I've got a new website for the ukuleles that people can contact me through. It's at kaleaukulele.com. And I can be reached at Larry@kaleaukulele.com. I also have a little sort of blog site that I don't keep updated that often, but it's lawrencehinkle.com.
Okay.
And there's examples of my furniture.
Oh, good.
There.
I could see maybe shots of you making things and.
Yeah, I don't know about on the blog, but there's examples of different types of furniture that I've done, commissions and that kind of thing.
All right.
I hope to have a slideshow on the ukulele website that'll show me doing certain processes.
Well, cool. Hey, well, thanks for having us out here today.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, I can be reached at billharrisart@comcast.net. Until next time, this has been Artscape.